Hello vegan adventurers, welcome to another exciting episode from Mallorca, Spain. Today we're gonna be hiking to 3 high peaks in Tramuntana mountains, including the famous Pic del Ofre. We're also gonna make amazing loop, so let's get started. For the first kilometer or so, we're walking by the lake on this bigger dirt road. And here we got till the end of the lake where they built this dam, and here is a sign no swimming, so I think it's because this water is used for drinking water. And here you can see the first peak we're gonna hike, the Pic de Sarateta. And here behind Sanya you can see the highest peak of Mallorca, the Pic Major, 1430 meters, but you can't get to the top because there is meteorological station there. And here we're starting the real hike, so from the main road we turn left following the path on maps.me, but it seems like it's not used, it's quite bushy, so probably it'll take us longer time to navigate through here. And here we see some people in the distance, so the path on maps.me is not really accurate, so we have to pretty much descend all the way down there, so you would save at least another 20 minutes if we started from there. Now the path should follow around the hill and then up about 1 kilometer and 300 meters of elevation. Let's do it! So it's 1:30 and for over half an hour we've been just scavenging from there to here, trying to find a path. So Spanish culture is again not a hiking culture. There's like literally no signs, it's just like a pile of rocks here and there, but that's about it. They don't have the hiking culture here and it's really hard to navigate according to GPS. And now we crossed over the ridge and we got this view of this little canyon here where we're gonna get up to the top. It's almost 2 o'clock, so it took us 1 hour just to get here. We should have been already up there somewhere, but now we got the sunshine again and better path as well. So yeah, let's go. Now we got more up, so in behind the corner, through the shadows, all the way up here. And now we have a little bit more to the top, and then I guess we go to another hill. And just when we thought we made it to the top of the peak de Serra Teta, we saw another peak in front of us, so we probably have another 20 minutes till the top. And here on the right we see the highest peak of Majorca, the Peak Major, 1430 meters. This side we saw the typical table rock formation, and it could be the Alvaro Hill with the castle on top where we went a few days ago.
'Cause you are the only one.
Now we got the view of the bridge at the lake where we've been at the beginning. Here you can see the route we followed, so we started down the bridge, then we followed up the valley around the little peak that I thought is the top, and now we got all the way here.
There will always be a place for you by my side, day or night. You know that it's killing me. Why do you always leave? It's not right. We don't fight, but I know what you've been through.
Alright, so here we thought we were on top of the Serra Teta peak, but when we looked on the left we realized there is another peak a little bit higher than here, so we just decided to go there to take final pictures.
I'll take the pleasure and the pain.
And here you can see the zigzagging road that goes to the top of the Peak Major with the meteorological station on the top, 1430 meters. Certainly you can't get all the way to the top, but you can hike just under the top if you want to. And here you can see the second highest peak of Mallorca, the Peak de Massanella, 1360 meters, and it's accessible for hikers. And here we finally made it to the top of the Serra Teta peak, 1170 meters. So the Serra Teta is actually 3 peaks, but this is the north one, the highest. Down here you can see the path where we want to come back with later today. started heading down towards another peak, the Na Franquesa, along the ridgeline. And here we saw some rock shelters, so people probably camp here when they do some longer through hikes. Now we got a view of two more peaks that we're gonna do today, the Na Franquesa and Lofre, and you can also see the whole path that we're gonna get back with down there in the valley. So the path from Sarateta to Na Franquesa hill was not really visible, and just we had to find our way back down, and it was really steep, so we had to be really careful because the rocks were quite loose as well. And we're surprised to see the field with the sheep, so it's incredible how they have to exploit animals even in these pristine remote environments. Just before we reach the peak of Na Franquesa, we got a view of the final hill we're gonna climb today, the Lofre peak. We're having vegan lunch just below the Na Franquesa peak because on top is too windy and here we are protected a little bit. So I'm having the buckwheat with the leftover soup from yesterday, and Sanya is having some potato chips with hummus and vegan burger. After we had lunch, we went to check out the top of Na Franquesa peak, 1067 meters, so a little bit shorter than Sarateta, and we got a similar view of this valley with the path that we're gonna go back with. And here we saw this rock fence basically going through the top of the mountain here. So it's just used, I think, to mark their property. So it's interesting how it's different culture. For example, in Norway they don't have fences even around their houses. So it's interesting. we got down to the saddle between La Franquesa and Lofre, and we see one of the electric poles which seems to go through whole Tramuntana mountains. And we noticed there is more trees around the Lofre hill than on other hills today, and we're starting the last ascent of the day to the peak of Lofre.
It's like I feel it for the first time. Been thinking about you all night. I've been searching for this all my life.
You can again see the peak of La Franquesa. We've been about half an hour ago, and from this perspective it seems steeper than it really was.
Look into my soul and it sparks my life. Can I take you there? Like it was the first time, do you remember? Can I take you there? Back to when we felt like this was forever. Can I take you there? Like it was the first time, do you remember? Can I take you there? You're all I need. Can I take you there? Can I take you there?
Same like with the first peak of Sarateta at the beginning, we thought that the top of Lofre is already down there because we saw it from different perspectives. It was actually another 5 minutes to the top. So we made it, all 3 peaks done today. So Lofre is a bit higher than La Franquesa, 1091 meters, and it took about half an hour from there. And we got this amazing view of South Tramuntana mountains with the Mediterranean Sea. We also noticed a lot of smoke down in the valley, so it's probably fires from farmers burning down the feed crops for feeding the livestock after the season. Alright, so now we're starting the descent from Lofre, and we have quite a distance to cover, about 7 kilometers and over 300 meters of elevation, and it's getting later, closer to sunset, so we gotta hurry up. But once we get down to the valley, it should be mostly flat, so hopefully we don't get caught in the darkness. Okay, now we connected to this bigger road and we keep going the way on the right, but we could also go back the way on the left, but it would take more time. It's 10 kilometers and more uphill. finally got to some water stream. So it's the only water source we found today. So if we're doing a long distance hike with camping, we'll definitely camp somewhere around here and stock up on water for cooking. And here we got a view of Lofre Peak again, where we've been about half an hour ago, and we descended down from the right side. And I think it's also possible to go up straight, which would take much less time, but I didn't make a path there. You can see the profile of our journey today. So we started from the lake, ascended to Sarateta Peak, and went down and up to Nafranquesa, then down and up to Lofre, and finally we descended down from Lofre around to this crossroad where you can choose more hikes from here. So we waited for the sunset up in the saddle, but we still have over 4 kilometers, so hopefully we're gonna make it before the darkness. You can see the reflection of sunset on Sarateta and Nafranquesa peaks that we climbed today.
Come on, baby, you should take my hand. I got bottles, I got blues, roll the dice, you'll never lose. Come on, baby, you should take my hand.
So you can again see the profile, how we hiked the 3 peaks today. So from here it seems pretty easy that you could do it in 1 hour, but it was actually pretty far and some parts were quite steep as well. And here you can see the shortcut that you can do in between Sarateta and Nafranquesa hill if you don't want to go all the way around like we did. So for the last 2 kilometers or so we got caught up in the darkness, but that was not too much of a problem as we had phone lights and the path was mostly flat, not too technical. Alright guys, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed watching this amazing vlog. It was probably the best adventure we did in Mallorca. 3 amazing peaks with awesome views. Next we have a few more shorter adventure hikes from Mallorca before we travel to Andalusia, Spain for more adventures. So stay tuned for future videos, and as always, stay healthy and stay adventurous.